Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are joined by Steve Wilmot, the tournament director, RBC Heritage Presented by Boeing. And this story is just magnificent. Right now, this is chapter 4 for us, so you can go back and you can look online at some of the videos of what we've covered in this story, because this is just magic. This is magic happening in real time.
Is it just
on?
chapter 4?
Well,
yeah.
no, it's chapter 52,
No.
52.4.
Well,
because we have 52 years.
I truly thank you again. But the one thing I've learned is never say never. If you go back to a couple of our chapters, you know, there was never.
It was
even,
done.
It was.
We talked about the whole decision. You were heartbroken. You were absolutely heartbroken over that decision, and so much had been spent on getting things to where they were. If you're back timing, you know when it's going to kick off. You'd put millions in. Right?
Yeah, and it was one of those things that there was no schedule opportunity for us, and who would have foreseen the fact that events were going to drop, and
but we're back on.
There. But it's a compliment to this community. It's a compliment to the efforts of the. Certainly the foundation, the staff, but this community, knowing that the tour said, if we can give it a shot somewhere, let's go ahead on Hilton Head. So,
So this is one of those events, and I just have to put that in there, that folks businesses schedule their yearly calendars around, social calendars around. This is just such wonderful news that we are looking at June 18th through 21st.
Yes, I mean it's going to be a different feel.
Totally different.
You think about the planning that certainly goes into what happened should have happened last week that didn't, and people do plan around it. It sets the season, spring going into the summer. It'd be a little warmer in June, but again, we've had such positive feedback from the community of, hey, let's go with, it's no spectators.
How's it going to happen? Yeah.
Well, it's more of a there's no revenue opportunities, but working with the network, working with the PGA Tour, and working with our title sponsor RBC, it'd be kind of an expense and exposure opportunity for this community. But it's being presented the opportunity. It was yes is the answer. What's the question? And then we proceeded to go from there, and it happened real fast. But the
bottom line is safety. The bottom line is it's always been the message of RBC Heritage Presented by Boeing that it is for the community. You guys always do the right thing.
Well, it was a difficult decision that we made before, and we were very optimistic that we were going to get to April, but it was the right decision. Yeah. And it's just like now in working with our local authorities, working with the government authorities, national CDC and others too, the number one concern is the safety and well-being for everybody. Yeah. And we're monitoring that. We're going to continue to monitor that. And we also know it's easy to pull. You can pull the plug overnight on something, but you can't plan overnight. So we're planning to have the event in June. Yes, some things could happen, but we have this wonderful opportunity in front of us. RBC's excited. The PGA Tour, the players,
the community is excited.
And the community is too.
This good news, we needed this good news, and you all, are so you all are so fast on your feet to be able to do this. This is not for the faint of heart here, which you all have been, you and your staff, which you all have been through. So it's spectator free.
Yeah. Well, spectator. When I say free, it's no spectators.
Exactly.
So it's
not, no spectators are going to be on site here, televised.
Televised. 144 players. The field is expanding, but we'll have. Again, a billion households, 220 plus countries being televised by the Golf Channel and then CBS. So we're getting a wonderful hit there as well. Working with the PGA Tour and RBC as the sponsor, we're still working through some things there from the television side. But we're also trying to address, the foundation's is basically still running 2 PGA Tour events because we're still addressing some things that happened this past week or it didn't happen. The build out, the $1 million that were spent, the lost revenue opportunities. The impact was certainly there for the economic impact because of certainly things that happen.
Can people just donate right now? You guys you're the last person who's ever going to say, yeah, we can take donations right now. Can people just bust open their wallets right now and just share?
Yeah, and yes, without question. And what was
because I know what I'm about to do.
Well, one thing with our ticket purchasers, we gave them 3 options. They could donate, they could defer to next year, then get a refund. And we were pleasantly surprised of how many of those those ticket purchasers did just say, here,
Donating.
help support the efforts of our scholars and our charity efforts.
Well, everything's
and,
changing so fast. We've already blown through our 5 minutes together. So, but the next chapter will be coming, and we cannot wait to catch up with you, Steve.
Great.
Thanks
Well,
so much for being with us.
Thanks again for all your support.
And we'll be back with more Talk of the Town.